Did you believe it still? Time was running out when that penalty happened.
I also believe something in my career, in our career, something happened. And then we have Fergie time, so we put the things together and magic happened. But it's just one win. Important for us, for our fans. We need to improve a lot of things, but today the guys deserved the win.
You're learning too from this experience, because it must be hard for you and for your players that are not used to this happening.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm not good enough. So I'm the boss here, I'm the manager. I had to find a solution. I don't find it. So, that is the reality. When you lose 8 games the last 10 or 11, so there's no defense.
Is it a mental thing? Is it something that's going on in the players' minds at the moment?
When it starts to happen quite a lot, it becomes a mental thing where you feel like it's going to happen again. So we just need to get out of that, get back to winning ways, and hopefully we can pick ourselves up.
We are in a worse position than them. We all know that probably for everyone, City's not being really good, but they're still up there in the table. So we probably in a worse moment than them, and we can't think that we have to look at them and come here. Oh, let's try to win because they're in a bad moment. No, we have to go to every pitch. It doesn't matter the moment of the team and try to win.
How special is Amad Diallo? I know you haven't worked with him long, but he's a young man who seems to have a bright future and a very cool head.
Yeah, now we have to be careful with Amad, because sometimes in our club we put our kids too soon in the special place. Let's calm down Amad and all the team and continue the job.
He's calming everything down, isn't he? Look, that wasn't a great derby. It wasn't exactly end-to-end with plenty of chances. But thanks to the 2 late goals, really, United's plan worked.
Well, they went into the game with a bit of caution and tentativeness, rightly so, because they've nullified City, found themselves a goal down through another set play, which is worrying for them, got to improve on that. But second half, I thought they came out and they really grew into the half. I thought there were some good performances from them, especially from Amad Diallo. He was outstanding. Talk about a player trying to impress a new manager and show him that he was right to select him. Positive. From the early stages of the second half, he wanted to get on the ball. The beauty of playing in this system for him is that he doesn't get stuck on the wing. He can come more central, which is a really good thing for him because he's going to get himself in more of these positions where he can score goals. Times the run brilliantly. Cute little header, good save from Edison. And that obviously gave him confidence. But this one I really like because great feet, nice and positive, goes both ways, which is also great for a winger. We know that. On his right foot, picks out a great ball. And United, as the second half wore on, you could see the players believing. City were dropping off, losing confidence, losing belief. Again, here, who's going to make a difference? Who's going to be the one to impact the game and turn it round for them? I know Bruno gets a little bit frustrated with him there, but still really causing City problems. And this I really like because there's not just the press. It's anticipation. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for the mistake. He's the first one on it. And the best thing about it is the calmness here. A lot of players there would have been rash and tried to shoot. Waits for the contact. Stupid tackle. Ridiculous. We know that. But gets the penalty that gets United back in. And just when we... Could it get any better for Man U? Yes. Brilliant run. Wonderful touch. And an even better finish. Yes, Guardiola may do better on the line, but... What a great reward for the young lad's endeavour, his confidence, his belief in himself. Because he's competing against some really good players, let's not forget that. And what he's done now is he said to the manager, you can't leave me out. And what he's turned that game on its head, really. These stats will tell you, look, completely backs it up.
And he's kind of first choice in that role now, isn't he? You would say, you know, he is one who is appearing all the time under this new manager, either at wing-back or in that role he had today.
I think that role suits him best because he's going to get in those goal-scoring positions, but he's in the first 11. I think what's great about Amorim, we've seen it in recent weeks and we're seeing it now, is that as week to weeks go, he's going to play who's playing well and who's training well.
And if they're not, he's going to leave them out. And there was no Rashford and no Garnacho in the matchday squad today. But he explained it pre-match and he explained it post-match. And players at United have been left out before by other managers and it turns into a circus.
Yeah.
How do you think he's handled this?
I think he's handled really well. I think if you don't train to the level he expects, put the shifts in and training, both in training and in games, then you won't be in the match day squad. It was big news this morning when it broke that they weren't in the squad. But he did say they trained this morning. He went and watched them. They trained well. And as you rightly says after the game, they're in contention for next week. But they got to compete to get back in the team now because they go in the derby and get a win as well. I think that backs up his argument.
But that's what he said. He said afterwards, didn't he? Right, and next week's a fresh week and they have every chance.
I think it was a brilliant interview when he spoke about it. He covered it superbly in every detail. And what you know from him, he's not writing people off. They're not done. He's going to give them a fresh start next week, like he said. And I think United fans would have been very impressed with the way he's dealt with it.
As far as City are concerned, they continue to look a shadow of the former selves, don't they?
Yeah, it's amazing how they've fallen off a cliff, really. Let's be honest. It's the results. Look, we look at City, and you always speak about City playing through the thirds. This is Walker obviously gets the ball. Look at Haaland. Same postcode as Haaland at this stage. Like, there's so many gaps. We're not just normally playing through midfield chappers and playing through the thirds. It's just a hopeful sort of long ball up. It's a battle for the big man up front. You see De Bruyne getting frustrated with the whole thing. This is not the City of old, passing and stuff. I mean, De Bruyne had a bit of an off day on the set plays as well. He tried to pick out Foden on this occasion, and this, I'm not really sure. I know he likes to get whips on these things, but the quality's not there. You work at that day before a game. And again, look at Walker. Normally De Bruyne maybe drop off into space, play it out. But it's just a hopeful ball up top. Haaland's 3v1. He's a battle with Maguire, and again the body's trying to catch up with him. That's I don't know. Excuse me, maybe Bolton of all hitting the big man up front and trying to get bodies around it. It's not the Man City, and this is the press that worries me. They're just passive in the press. It's too easy for Man United to get out of that press, and yeah, you give credit to Man United for doing that, but I think it sets the tone. We always talk about City in the past. They're brilliant at creating chances, but it comes from the press. Look at Silva. The Haaland's jogging. Watch Docker here. It comes into shot. He's doing nothing there. He might as well stay where he was. Opens up the space for Manu. That's where Docker just was a minute ago. If you're going to press chappers, you have to go together. You have to go as a unit. And again, it's all too easy for Manchester United. It's a real concern. And then if you don't want the ball high up the pitch, look at every Man City player. They haven't to track back 90 yards to defend their box. And here Silva gets attracted to Dalot. I think he should leave Walker 1v1. Frees up the space for Bruno, of course. Puts a brilliant ball, as Danny showed before, and Ahmed with the header. Fantastic save from Ederson. But it's a concern. Haaland again. I don't even know why Haaland's back here at this point. But what's this for? When have you ever seen a City player of any time sums it up? Look, I know he's quick, but he's not going to get on the end of his own through ball. And you can see Pep. He's rubbing his eyes. He doesn't know what's happening himself. And I suppose coaches and managers up and down the country are thinking, what's he going to do to change the tide? I mean, the stats itself from today, look, it backs it up, doesn't it, Chappers? It's one of the worst of the season.
I think United deserve a bit of credit for that stat as well. We touched. I'm not saying they weren't, but United's shape helped them nullify, and the way they defended, how disciplined they were. I tell you what, it does show you as well. Even the best players on the planet can struggle with confidence.
And even the best managers. I mean, his post-match interview was fascinating as well. I have to find solutions, but I don't find solutions. I'm the manager, and I'm not good enough. Simple as that. Is that honesty? Is that trying to take it off his players?
I think so.
The latter.
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I think he is trying different things. We see it week to week, different players in different positions. They're lacking a bit of energy, but I think it's more about confidence than physicality. Because when your confidence is low, you drop physically anyway. And a lot of those players aren't at the levels we've seen them, because we know how good they are. And why aren't they there? I don't think it's a fitness thing. I think at the moment they've just dropped confidence.
I mean, Phil Foden's even talking about confidence there. When you see the gaps that you mentioned and how far apart they are, when you see them not pressing as they do, is that confidence?
I don't know, but it's
not all of a sudden
it's
it not being second
It's
nature.
a belief as well. It's a belief within what Pep's doing as a team pressing without the ball. And then people would argue the average age of the squad's gone up as well. Can these players do that now with the ages going up to the 30s, what have you? But it's a concern when the manager comes out and says, I'm not very good anymore. He's a brilliant manager, one of the best managers to grace the Premier League. I'd rather Pep come out and say, no, dust ourselves down. We go again. I'm the leader of this group. I'm going to fight for this group. And we're going to get out of this. Get out of this.
I think the bigger concern at the minute. I know they've conceded a lot of goals, but normally City always make chances. Confidence is when you're running away like Shea shown on the piece there, and not going to get the ball under pressure, which is what they do. They've just deviated from that. And that makes it easier to play against. So it's a knock-on effect with both. If you're not good with it, you're not good with that. All of a sudden, everyone's doubting each other. They're good players. They'll bounce.
They've made a heck of a lot of money, and they've also made a heck of a lot of money on player sales. Do they go big in January?
I think
or
they have.
Do they just keep their powder dry till the summer and then?
Well, I think that if they dip in, they freshen it up. I really do. They need an injection of new faces, an injection of. I mean, Rodri's the obvious gap in that midfield, of course. Huge loss. Alvarez was sold just before the window as well. Didn't replace him. I think they need to freshen it up.
Okay.
We have a lot to do, but it was massive for our fans. But I see the same game until the 85 minute. So maybe our conversation would be so much different without without 2 goals, but the performance would be the same. So let's focus. I think they did a very good job.
I don't have defense, so I'm the boss, I'm the manager. I have to find a solution, and I don't find a solution. So this is a big club, and big club, when you lose 8-10, something wrong has happened. So I said, yeah, I can say the schedule is tough, yeah. The injuries, the players, yeah. But no, 3-0 against Feyenoord, 75 minutes, they will lose the game. Do you think it's dangerous? Is the schedule? No, we have to win that game. Today we have to win that game. I'm the boss, I'm the manager, and I'm not good enough. It's as simple as that. I have to find a way to talk to them, to the training to them, to the way you have to play, the way you have to press, the way you have to build up. And I'm not good enough. I'm not doing well. That is the truth.
Another defeat, another extraordinary chapter in Manchester City's season. They've lost 8 of their last 11 in all competitions. They lost 8 in their previous 106 matches in the end. Tim and Karen, football humbles all of us, doesn't it? What about this latest saga for Man City and the manner in which it all happened?
It's really hard ever to sit here and criticise a man who's won 4 Premier League titles in the last 4 years and won 6 in total, because he's a genius. We've said it time and time again, but he's got a lack of experience in this environment. He's never ever been used to this. He's never experienced losing football matches to this extreme. And unfortunately, at the moment, with the group of players what he has at his disposal, he's finding it difficult to find the answers, which is extraordinary for us even to imagine that Pep Guardiola, but I still believe in him. I think it's easy to come out and say, I'm not good enough. He's trying to take the pressure off the players, and he's putting it all on himself. When you've won as much as he has, to say now, no one can really go full out and criticise him, because it's just going to make him look stupid. I still believe he's the right man for the job. I think they will strengthen if they can get their finances sorted out, and he will turn it around and he'll make them champions again. This year, no chance.
Is he